What's good guys, it's me and Murev with a brand new video. So like this particular video is the first of many videos to come because I'm making this motherfucking series called Know That Character, which the name itself explains I'll talk about your guys' favorite anime characters. So as you can see from the title, I'll be talking about Shigaraki from My Hero Academia. I would be also talking about his past, his downfall, and how he rose back to the figure he is now. So before we start, please subscribe to my channel because when I hit that 1k subscribers, I will be giving away something for you guys. So for that to happen, just sub to my channel and follow me on my social media accounts below. So let's hop in. So we all know Shigaraki as the leader of the League of Villains whose goal is to become Japan's next greatest villain. For a while, Shigaraki had no clear conviction and always relied on his master, All For One, to provide for every resource he needed. His objective was to destroy the Society of Heroes, specifically All Might, who he held great hatred for. But ever since All For One's imprisonment, Shigaraki has slowly begun to learn and develop into a more independent villain and formed a conviction where he desires to destroy everything he despises, that is, bringing down society as a whole. So before we move on guys, I'm gonna tell you about Shigaraki's past. Tenko Shimura, now known as Shigaraki, was a young boy born from his father Kotaro Shimura. Tenko had a normal life but with the strict parents just like every Asian kid out there. Just like every kid, he loved heroes and would often play with his friends and discuss about heroes to them. But then his father hates heroes due to his mother, or Tenko's grandmother, abandoning him. He would beat the shit out of Tenko whenever he brings up any topic that relates to heroes. At the same time, Tenko was already developing an unusual quirk. At some point, Tenko and his sister Hana snuck into their father's office where they came across a picture of their grandmother, Nana Shimura. They both learned that their grandmother was a hero and decided to keep it a secret among each other. Tenko's dad eventually found out and bitch-slapped Tenko, and this eventually led to Tenko running away, as no one from his family tried to help nor comfort him. He was left alone with his dog, who was the only one there who was able to comfort him until he accidentally killed his dog with his quirk. Poor doggo. Due to inexperience with his quirk, Tenko proceeded to kill his entire family. It started with his sister when she went to him to apologize but was killed in accident. His mother and grandparents later witnessed the scene in horror, only for them to be killed too in the process. His father came to see the massacre and Tenko begged his father for help as the area was destroyed. However, his father attacked him in order to stop him. Unfortunately, Tenko's instincts were roused up to the point where he proceeded and killed his father while destroying his home too. At that point, Tenko's humanity had disappeared. So let's talk about his quirk before we move on. His quirk is called Decay and it allows him to turn any solid object that is within his reach into dust. When he touches an object with his hands, it will disintegrate and turn into dust. But Shigaraki has to be within a short distance of his target for the quirk to actually damage them. It also requires him to use all 5 fingers for it to be in effect. So let's get back to the story. He was later left alone in the streets with vague memories of the past until he was approached by the man who would eventually become his mentor, All For One. When All For One took him in, he revealed that Tenko had killed his family and the only things that remained were their hands. Knowing this, Tenko was brought to despair, but All For One assured him that he would guide Tenko and teach him how to control his feelings of anger and hatred, and he must direct those feelings to the Hero Society. Tenko later found himself getting into trouble with 2 crooks in the street. He later came in tears, but All For One encouraged him to let out his true potential and pursue what he truly wants to do. Tenko later came back to those same crooks with the hands of his family members attached to him and killed them. All For One later collected their hands and offered them as gifts to Tenko. Tenko then proceeded to attach their hands to him. It was from here where All For One decided to rename the young boy Tomura. It's a word that signals for sorrow of death and parting, but also to celebrate a new age of Tenko Shimura. He then gave him his last name Shigaraki, granting Tenko his new name, Tomura Shigaraki. From this point on, All For One began to raise the young boy as his new successor and the new face of evil. Tomura and the other villains first appeared at the training site where the students were practicing. When he did not see All Might, he was frustrated and decided to use his force to attack all the other heroes there as a way to draw All Might's attention. He fought Shota Aizawa and was responsible for defeating him. He also tried to attack the students, but All Might eventually appeared. Shocked at All Might's appearance, he tried to attack him as well, but as time dragged on, more heroes appeared, so Tomura decided to retreat. When they were retreating, he was complaining and pissed that they ended up losing a lot of men, including Nomu, so he was instructed by All for One to look for men for the organization. Tomura eventually met with the hero killer Stain. He tried to convince Stain to join the League of Villains since they lacked members. They both got into a fight until Stain pinned him down. However, Tomura remained defiant and Stain was surprised by Tomura's declaration of war by wanting to destroy the society revolving All Might. After discussing the values of the League of Villains, Stain asked to go to Hosu to continue his work. Kurogiri then teleported Tomura, Stain, and himself to the city of Hosu. Tomura then started complaining about Stain and his motives, so he decided that he wants to unleash a few Nomus to destroy the city. The next day, he was frustrated that Stain got recognition and his Nomus did not get any kind of recognition. Tomura was later introduced to new members of the League of Villains, Toga and Dabi. Tomura was very unpleased by their praise of the hero killer and attempted to kill them, but was prevented by Kurogiri from doing so he just walked the fuck out. Tomura then later confronts Izuku at a public mall in his civilian appearance. He took Izuku as a hostage and asked him couple questions about himself and the hero killer. Izuku then states that while his and the hero killer's motives were because of the inspiration of All Might, he could not understand what the hero killer was aiming for as he never gave up on his dream, while Tomura ultimately abandoned his cause. Tomura then begins to realize why he's constantly failing and it's all because of All Might. Coming to this realization, he concludes that all of Stain's ideals and convictions have been nothing more than a stepping stone for him. He decided then to leave Izuku when Gravity Girl Ochako arrived. During the forest training, Tomura commissioned the Vanguard Action Squad to attack the UA students at night when they were on their summer school trip to enhance their powers. He ordered them to capture Bakugo and place a hit for Midoriya and other students at UA. The attack ultimately resulted in many students getting minor to major injuries, Bakugo and Ragdoll getting captured and the trip ending. The reason why they captured Bakugo is that Tomura wanted Bakugo to join the side of the villains. He was a bit frustrated that when he declined the offer and states that All Might was his hero and do everything to support him. Tomura decided that he did not have time to deal with Katsuki's defiance and sought power from his master to convert him into the dark side. As he was about to attack Bakugo, All Might and the other heroes broke into the rescue. At the sight of All Might's appearance, Tomura recalled his past and yelled at All Might out of spite. All for One then took out the villains and Bakugo and teleported them to a warehouse outside of town. As All for One was fighting All Might, he teleported all the villains to an area far away for their own safety. And eventually, All Might won the fight, and Tomura was very motherfuckingly furious. After their defeat, Shigaraki and the League of Villains formed a new hideout for themselves and remained hidden. Eventually, they are later approached by the leader of the 8 Precepts of Death, Chisaki. Chisaki told Tomura about his failures and how his lack of strategy allowed the arrest of Muscular and Moonfish. Chisaki wanted Tomura to join his organization and that together he would have greater power to take down the hero-dominated society. His meeting with Chisaki became harsh as Chisaki killed Magne in the process, while Tomura also killed one of their men. Despite the conflicts, they joined the 8 Precepts and he sent Toga and Twice to headquarters to help Chisaki against the heroes who planned to invade his house. After Chisaki's defeat to the heroes, Tomura leads the villains to attack him and tear off his arms. Prior to the events of the Hero Billboard Chart Japan, Tomura and the rest of the league continued searching for more recruits, while Tomura personally has been trying to get in contact with All for One's doctor. Spinner, who is frustrated with the current state of the league, demands what direction Tomura is exactly heading towards. Before Tomura could respond, they were interrupted by Gaigon Tomakia, who has been looking for the league as well. To see if he truly is a worthy successor, Gaiga Tomakia engages him and the other villains in battle, only to find himself beating them with ease, causing him to break down in tears. Eventually, the doctor speaks through the radio that Gaigon Tomakia has been carrying around, subduing him with the voice of All for One and transporting the league to his hideout. The doctor introduces himself as Daruma Ujiko and reveals that has been producing a stronger variation of Nomus known as High End. Ujiko then proceeds to call Tomura a worthless piece of shit who has achieved nothing and asked him on what is he planning to do to be All for One's successor. Tomura explains to him that he's felt nothing but anger and loneliness ever since he was a child and ultimately wishes to destroy the very things that he despises. He believes that with Dr. Ujiko's talents, he may be able to achieve great things with the League. Ujiko laughed at Tomura, saying his dream is unrealistic, but Ujiko still accepted his offer because he believes that villains are the ones who make unrealistic dreams into reality. Dr. Ujiko then sends the League back to Gigantomachia, in which Tomura reintroduces himself as the future king. A month has passed and Tomura continues to work on earning Gigantomachia's trust in him. As Gigantomachia would continuously attack him and the others, Tomura did not get any sleep. That did not appear to bother him, however, and instead developed him into more of a thrill seeker. He eventually gets in contact with Rikiya Yotsubashi, who challenges him to either face him in battle or fall to the hands of the heroes. Tomura, along with the rest of his companions, arrived in Deika City, where they are confronted by Curious and Koku Hanabata. The two executives signal their army to attack the League, resulting in the battle between the villains. Tomura focuses on taking down them individually as well as the other League. Tomura recalls a childhood memory of him and his sister, Hana, who showed him a picture of his grandmother and told him about how she was a hero. Despite his exhausted conflict with Gigantomachia, Tomura was able to take out a large group of Metal Liberation Army by spreading his quirk. Meanwhile, Twice confronts Rikiya in the watchtower where he's keeping Jiran held captive. Twice then proceeds to create clones of other members of the League, including Tomura. The clones then attempt to attack Rikiya but are quickly defeated when he utilizes his quirk. The real Tomura, however, manages to bring down the whole building, leaving him confronted with Rikiya alone. Tomura attempts to disintegrate him by touching the ground, but Rikiya manages to avoid the attack. Rikiya then manages to land a hit on him, causing Tomura to lose two of his fingers in his left hand. When Rikiya states how meaningless and hollow his ambitions truly are, Tomura frees himself from his grasp by decaying his finger and proceeds to go berserk, as the hands of the family that adorned his upper body are destroyed, causing him to recall various aspects of his past that constantly develops him into a more dangerous being. From here on, Tomura decides to let go of his past sorrows and unleash the true evil within him as he crushes the hand of his father. With his newfound strength, Tomura proceeds to come into clash with Rikiya once more, destroying the city around them in the process. With the sudden turn of events, Rikiya decides to unleash one of his devices from the Detnerat company to defeat Tomura once and for all, and it's named Cresto. Despite Rikiya's best efforts, Tomura manages to overwhelm him and proceeds to destroy the city around him with his sheer pressure, causing Rikiya to lose his armor and eventually come in contact with the decay when reaching the ground. With nothing left to continue on the battle, Rikiya is left laying on the ground as Tomura watches over him, reminding him how he started this conflict. Spinner and Gigantomachia eventually arrive to the scene along with the Metal Liberation Army, who attempt to help Rikiya, but Rikiya calls off the army. Instead, Rikiya decides to surrender all of his resources and submit to Tomura's command, as much to Tomura's amusement. Gigantomachia also acknowledges Tomura as All-for-One's successor. In the aftermath, Tomura is announced to be the Grand Commander of the newly formed Paranormal Liberation Army. He makes the members of the Leagues of Villains and high-ranking members of the Metal Liberation Army into sub-commanders. After the announcement, Tomura collapses and is contacted by Ujiko, who offers him the power he promised and requests that Tomura make a special delivery for him. Before Tomura undergoes surgery, Dr. Ujiko asked him on why he seeks more power, and Tomura explains that his newfound power isn't unbeatable and he isn't going to underestimate the heroes no more, and he's going to obliterate the fucking heroes the next time they meet. Ujiko is amazed by Tomura's answer, and he informs him that the operation he's about to go through will grant him power greater than All-for-One himself, and even allow him to obtain the very quirk he created, the One for All. Oh shit, spoilers! Fucking assholes. However though, it would take 4 months to complete the process, and Tomura would experience endless pain the entire time. However, Tomura doesn't give two shits about this. So that guys for Tomura's story, and we'll see more from him in the upcoming chapters and seasons from the anime, and hopefully he gets OP as fuck, cause I really love this character, and I hope you guys learned something and liked it. And for the figurine giveaway, it's obviously a My Hero Academia character, so don't worry about that.
and but I won't reveal it. I won't reveal who is it yet. Just get me to 1K subs first, so you guys know. So don't forget to subscribe and follow my social media accounts down below, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye, years.